Hello and welcome in this video about Blender. So in this video we're gonna take a look at the very famous software called Blender. This one is a free software, so just go in Google, type Blender software, and on the Blender org you're gonna have a direct link for the download here, and you can download here the 3.3. Very nice, free and very powerful software. So let's have a look. So this version I think is the version I can relaunch, because we can launch many blenders at the same time. So the 3.2. Okay, so here you're gonna have this window of the quick setup. You can put in English, select with left and right, space bar, this kind of stuff. So just select your favorite stuff. So welcome in Blender. This software is very nice because it can, first, is free. Second, it can do almost everything in the pipeline and at a pretty solid way. So you can do modeling, sculpting, UV editing, texture painting, shading, animation, rendering, compositing, and you have some notes and scripting. Okay, so this first display here and layouts is a way to quickly change into the specific mode and unlock the good window. So you can do everything of this in this window, but here it's really the quick short way, because you have strictly access to what you need. Okay, so here, basics, file, open, you save. When you save as a point blend, so that's the Blender file, but you can also export classic format like ABC for Alembic, FBX for Maya stuff, Autodesk. We have the OBJ, and we can also export some grease pencil for Photoshop or Illustrator. So a lot of export stuff, and for the import, pretty much the same standards. So you can easily import from other softwares. Okay, so here, edit, same stuff, menu, operation, the preferences. So here you're gonna spend a lot of time at the beginning searching for some term, the user interface, if you want to see the grid, the size, overlay, the quality, for the lights, for the editing, animation. So all the stuff is in edit preferences. It's gonna be useful. Window, here you have all the window. If you want to save, open a new one, and the help, like always the manual, always without the manual. Have a look to some stuff if you need. So yeah, let's start. So here, as you see, this is the viewport. Here is the kind of outliner with what is inside your scene, the object with the material attributed for the object, the light, the source of light, and the camera. So they put a basic scene with camera, geolight, with the material, just to have a basic setup. Okay, here you can see in this orange stuff in this side, you're gonna have the parameter of your object. So the location, you can change here, rotation, scale, the relation from the parents, which collection is this, if there is instance of this, if he's using a motion path, all this kind of stuff. And here on the side you're gonna have access to a lot of menus. Okay, so this one is kind of the root menu for the geometry. I don't know the name they put. So object properties, so this is the object properties, kind of like the attribute editor in Maya. And here you can switch to the physics properties if you have some force field, rigid bodies. You can also switch to the object constraint properties if you want to add a constraint, like a copy scale or transformation, so it's constraining to another object. Here is the object data, so data in terms of light. You can see oh, this is the power of the light. If we want a sun, if we want a spot, if we want an area, you can see it's changing here. You can see the power of the light, always affecting diffuse, specular, volume, all this kind of stuff. Okay, same for the camera. If you go in the camera, you can change the length. You can see it's like flat length, like very narrow length, shifts, clip start, stuff like this. And you can also like go in the sensor and stuff inside the camera. Okay, for the geometry, we're gonna talk about UV map, color attribute, face maps, attributes. So here's all the stuff you can custom about your geometry. Okay, and for the material, if you press here, the red one, you have access to the material. So here you have kind of the library of material. You can create new ones. Here, put a name, select what kind of stuff you want. If you want like a glossy, a base stuff, so all is gonna be like a base of settings. So you're just gonna put the settings by default and add new ones. So the specular BDSF, the BSDF is base color specular diffuse. So you're gonna have like the base here, the stuff, and you can as well here, if you want, you can select a new stuff to put inside, or if you click here, you can as well do like input, but where is the image texture, and you're gonna put here add a node to input. Okay, so this is for the material. So just to have a look here, you have like views, so all the stuff here, look, and here you have the what they call texture properties about the stuff. Okay, so now this is for the object, but here on the top is more about the setup of Blender. So here you're gonna have the scene, if you want ambient occlusion, bloom, depth of field, so really like about your scene, what kind of a render engine you want to use, can be cycles, Eve or workbench. So very like fast GPU stuff. So you're gonna have like really fast renders based on your graphic card, the scene format, the resolution of the camera, aspect ratio, frame range, the output where we're gonna save our work, all this kind of stuff. Okay, so very handy. And at the same time here the passes, if you want to combine everything, or to have maybe the Z, or maybe to have the UV pass, if you want specific light pass, cryptomite, shadow AOV, light group, some filters. So really easy to handle here. And the scene property, what scene are we using, what camera, what if there is a clip, the unit. So let this, that's cool, we can see all the units of our work, if the gravity is here for all the physics, and see what's about the audio and stuff like this. Okay, so all this on the right down, you're gonna have access to kind of the all general parameters on your scene and all the general parameters for your object. Okay, now if we take a look on the left, it's more about selection stuff. So here we are doing selection like this, so we can left click, we have the tweak, so just selecting one and moving. We are in the select box, so we can select multiple object, no object, two object, three object, one object, and you can see here it's highlighted like we're selecting the cube. So very important. You can select as well as a circle way, or maybe lasso. Okay, so this is just a way to select in the viewport. Now how to move in the viewport, press so middle click to rotate, so just middle mouse to move around the point of pivot. You can do unzoom and zoom with control and left click. You can pin with alt and middle click, so it's all about the rotation. And if you want to pan, you can move here, and here on the move you can take an object and move it. So here you have geometry on the left, on the right, you can push all the axes depending on what you want to do. If you press shift and middle click, you're gonna pan, and middle click is to shift. So with those three you can do whatever you need. in your scene. So all is about middle click. With shift you pan, without you just rotate, and you can mouse in and mouse out to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so here you have the cursor. So the cursor, it's this stuff here. So basically you can spot in a specific place, and this gonna depends of many stuff. You can rotate the object based on the cursor, you can extrude based on the cursor, you can snap it to the cursor. The cursor is like a free null point on your scene, but connected to your object in many ways. If you want, you can always put the cursor here and do like something about put the cursor on the center of the world, if you want this to come back, and you can see the orientations here, or the view, align, you can select, you know, you can move your object and stuff like this. So now you're in object mode. So object mode is like this. When you go in edit mode, is gonna give you, so if you look on the side here, you have just access to the normal kind of rotate, scale. Scale is this one, is S. So all this is the principal object mode. But if you move into edit mode, now you have access to the extrude region. So if you want to extrude maybe, so you're gonna select the face. So let's do the face. So you do here. Yeah, here. So here you have vertex, edge, or faces. So you select the face. Now you're extruding because you're on the extrude selection here. Extruding, you see, very easy, very fast to extrude in this software. If you want, you're going to extrude some edge, you can select the edge here and extrude the edge. So you have a plane here. So this is for the extrude. You can insert faces. So a lot of tools for geometry, for modeler to do really good tools, really fast. You know, like here you see you can bevel easily. Nice triangling here. We have the loop cut if you want to loop. We can after drag and drop the loop. You see, so very fast, very powerful modeling tool as well. You see, you can fast easy cut here on the geometry. If you want to cut it like this, you press enter and you have a clear cut on your geo. And you can come back to the extrude mode, select the faces, take this face, extrude in, extrude out. So yeah, basically here you have a lot of modeling tool, very like common used. You can find them here, and if you don't find them here, you can go in the mesh, add, and you can, you know, always work with what you want. It can be like the seam, the vertex, extrude, stuff like this. Okay, so if you go in modeling tool, is like kind of the same as the layout, but you go straight into the edit mode and you have like remove the play bar on the bottom because you don't need that when you model. You go a bit more full screen with a bit different perspective, and this is kind of the good way to model in your object. Okay, here you can see if you want what kind of mode you want, what kind of selection you want, and stuff like this. Okay, also in the sculpting, so now you go into sculpting mode. Maybe you want to do a dynamic topology, and here you can start sculpting, and you have access to all the classic sculpting tools you have in all the other softwares. So it can be the draw sharp, the clay, yeah, many ways. So when you do din topo here, you're just gonna do a topology based on the actual mesh. So you can play on this, you can cut, you can move it. So yeah, just, you know, enjoying all the power of the sculpting tool. Very fast sculpting tool. Here you have all the brush settings as you select an object, but now you select the brushes, the smooth, classic smooth, you know, we all love this one, the flatten, and you can just let here and see shift T is the stuff here, shift S is the one, E for inflate. So when you're in sculpting mode, all your shortcut change, just to make sure you can have like easy access to all the tools here. Okay, so UV editing, kind of the same as the other editing UV stuff. So you're gonna go here, select what you need, do here some panning, grabbing, reception, you know, like scale, it rotates. All this is based on your stuff. Here you can see how is it going here, and you can do like unwrap. So you're unwrapping the full geo, and now you can play with, you know, like maybe you want maybe this more on the side, maybe you want more or something here, you know, like, so basically playing with your UV. Okay, so UV editing here, maybe you can have a look to a proper UV editor in Blender if you're curious. I'm more doing my UV in Maya personally. Texture painting as well, shading. So shading, when you go into shading, you can see like now it's going into this mode. So you have like a sphere of like a HDRI with like this. So this is good for reference of your lighting, so you know you're not burning your geometry, and this is the kind of reflection you can have. And here you can see, but by default, a principal BSDF, and you can add here multiple stuff. So you can press not how do we add here, so here you are. If you go into here and you do like a base color, like image texture, now you have some image texture coming. If you want to have like metallic stuff, and you can add here like new maps, new ZID. So yeah, you can all is here. Have a look in the some material tutorial as well for Blender. I'm not gonna go far on this, just to show you like this is the interface and how to go inside. And yeah, so basically shading very well done, about quick way to nodal work and do the stuff here. So that's it. Okay, I was looking just to add, yeah, add here input, and here you can add. So yeah, okay, that's why. So basically when you're here you can add, and you have a lot of stuff you can add for your stuff. So if you want to do saturation in between, you know, your stuff, if you want to do like a texture checker, maybe you want to have a checker texture here. Let's see, you have a checker now on your geometry. Increase the specular, very dotty. If you want to have like the roughness, now it's very reflecting. As you see, we can see the environment. So that's cool. We have a real-time preview. Here you can see the stuff, and when you're gonna go in the rendering mode, you can easily see what you're doing in your full package. Okay, so yeah, that's just a quick view of Blender. You see, very fast to switch from one way to another, to the UV, maybe you want back to shading and stuff. So that's actually a very smooth tool in terms of speed, so it's a very nice one to have in your pocket. And yeah, just, you know, take a look at how to, you know, change the views, different type of view here. So you can here see like the wireframe, the mesh, but you can also see the render view, how it's gonna look. So yeah, here you can see the viewport shading. So just yeah, have a look around, see here we have a certain number of frame, you can animate, playback, keying. So yeah, have a look with that, and we're gonna have a look in other Blender tools for the next video, and just, you know, have a look, download, and enjoy the process with the new free software. Well, it's not that new, but yeah, it's actually very, very powerful right now. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this little presentation of Blender, and see you in the next video.